Hi everybody, this is Black Runner Ranger. Now because my computer is unfortunately out cold, keep in mind this was just a new one. I just got it 3 months ago and it decided to just not want to activate. So while I'm currently in England in a different country, so I'm unable to take it to the repair shop. I tried one here in England, but they say they couldn't do anything about it. So the only way now is to take it back to the shop from when it's first where I got the computer from, and see if they can do anything about it. So what can I do while I wait for the for my mo- if, while I, what can I do throughout all of May? If I want to be monetarily stable. I thought of a different approach, do a bit of a commentary on my previous animations, see what was my favorite parts, what was my least favorite part, and what Easter eggs you may or may not have pointed out, etc. Let's start off with the very first of my Skylanders animations, the Skylanders Christmas video, which came out in 2011, 2 months after the release of Skylanders Spiral's Adventure. Now, keep in mind, this was when before I had another type of software in order to convert my animation into a video file. Back then, it was the only way I can convert a flash file into a video file. Nowadays, we have other ways to do that. In fact, Newgrounds has its own SWF converter to MP4 called Swivel, which I've been using for all my animations on that one ever since. Anyways, now, keep in mind this is unscripted, so I might pause in some places. So let's take a look at, and I'm also the sound is shut down because I want to talk over some bits, and some of the sounds may be copyrighted detected, and I'm trying to avoid that. Okay. So let's go. So this is the first animation I did that's Skylanders Focus, and in case you don't know, it was based on one of my favorite Aardman movies, Arthur Christmas, which I think is their best CGI film. So here you see over there, that's Sparks. He's got his little stuffed Sparks toy, the Mabu. And he flies over to Santa, and what he wants is a rocket scooter. Secret hole, don't ask, it's a secret. Ladder retrieved, says Drobot. Identification, Betty. So, yeah, now because I didn't know how to properly use a audio thingy, I just used the basics. I just duplicated Drobot's dialogue to make it sound like a robot. And keep in mind, this was the first time I portrayed every Skyland there, and I just knew the basics since not all of them were released at the time, so I had to sometimes I had to decide which personalities they had if they weren't revealed yet. Like, for example, let me just go back for a minute. Drill Sergeant here, before I knew him as the licensed to drill, beep bop bop, I originally had him thought he could just speak in just drills, like just, kind of like Megalon. And Drobot is just a regular squeaky voice robot, but actuality he should have sounded a bit deeper. In fact, according to Alex Ness, the voice of Drobot, he based his voice on Soundwave. So
I probably should have spoke more like this, and perhaps use vocal filters for Drobot.
As you can see, we have Sunburn and Bash and Voodoo. And over here's the naughty list. Let's go over who the bad guys are on this list. Let me slow it down a little bit. Yeah, let's see who's on the naughty list. Let's see: Discord, Chip Hazard, Shang Tsung, Scrooge, Eric Cartman, Luna, Ermac, Megatron, Cortex, Zendive, Mandy, Zin, Lex Luthor, Plankton, Okay, I've lost count again. Try that again. Sorry about that. Nutty. Zim, Lex Luthor, Plankton, Scar, Quan Chi, Sentinel Prime, Vilgax, Prince John, Dr. Boho, and Elmer Fudd. Take a guess where these characters are from. And who's on the nice list? Fred. I think earlier I saw Fred Burr. Good. Let's try that again. Oops, too far. Fred Burger, Raiden, Ben Tennyson, SpongeBob, Luke Skywalker, Rhino and Dile, those are my creations. Archer, he's from Small Soldiers. It's not the Archer you think of today. Twilight Sparkle, Iron Man, Skipper, Billy, Woody, Spider-Man, Optimus Prime, Scooby-Doo, Superman, and I've lost the other ones. Try that again. Billy, Woody, Spider-Man, Scooby-Doo, Superman, Bugs Bunny, Chowder, and Flapjack. Okay, let's go back to normal speed. And Boomer just wants to blow everything up. This was based on that commercial. I couldn't hear it because it just got blown up. Woo-hoo! Now keep in mind, I was the only voice actor, so even I voiced some of the girls, including Stealth Elf. It's because also another thing you may notice is the eyes. I was still flip-flopping on what type of eyes each character should have. Should their eyes be closed like I usually do for some characters, or should they be or should they be separate like in the official Skylanders game? I decided nowadays you might know the way I draw the characters. Like nowadays you see Gilgrunt and Trigger Happy's as eyes close together, and Spyro's is separated, but they can be closed if he's surprised or something. And in case you don't know, fellas, because I'm aware that Spyro's design was a bit disliked at the time, I thought for my take on Skylanders Spyro, it's like a combination of classic Spyro and Spike from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I also keep flip-flopping on Dino Rang's eyes. Should they be green or should they be orange? Now this scene is a bit of a framing thing. You see, Spyro goes in every 1 frame, Gilgrunt goes every 3 frames, and Trick goes every 2 frames. Now here's the funny thing. The Space Odyssey thing, it was supposed to play the full theme song, but when I downloaded the song got cut off for a bit. So in order to get around it, I added in a little DJ scratch on it. 3, 2, 1, ignition. You see down there is Sid the Sloth. Houston, we have liftoff. Yeah, I'm not sure why I included this gag. Who's Houston who you speak of? Keep in mind, this was made a couple of months before Whitney Houston's passing. I probably would have made a joke about that, but best not. Back then, I thought I didn't think Dino Rang had an Australian accent. I thought it was Zook who did, thanks to that commercial, but in the games, he has a Jamaican accent. He's muddled up the dropping the ropes or dropping the hammer based on his catchphrase. I used the Mission Impossible theme song for this occasion. Now, before this, I assumed that Camo would have the ability to turn invisible because of his name Camo, which is short for camouflage. I didn't realize that was actually Stealth Elf's ability. Here's another Easter egg. Ripster, Jab, Streaks, and Big Slamu. And that painting over there. They're from 2 different franchises that are shark related. What are they? And here's the tree house of Twilight Sparkle. This is when Spike wakes up and I'm sorry about that. These are a present. 9 zillion, 9 trillion, and 2 stops later. This is a reference to Dr. Zeus. So they drop off. I should have included the tractor beam part earlier. And also the eyes thing, sorry. And Inspector Green. That's the last present. You see that little bug over there? That's Chaos's camera viewing on... It said Polar World. That's where the Mabu live. One thing to two just ain't so bad. And after all, nobody's been less. Also, I don't know if you notice this, but if you watch the animation, you notice the animation delays, the animation and the audio delay a bit as the animation progresses. It's because back then I really had no idea how to control the audio and the delay or something like that. This joke, I think I should have done a faster pace on this one. There's Rhino there, there's Dile there. And dream about gold like I do every night. And nowadays, I have him dream about gold, guns, and the 3 G's. Gold, guns, and gals. Now, keep in mind, this, even though I did have Sonic Boom, I always thought Sonic Boom should sound like a bird, since she is part eagle, which is what a griffin is. It can't be, but it is, and already has. This is a reference to Wind of the Willows, Ichabod and Mr. Toad. That's not the only reference. There's another one later down the line. Skylanders Chaos is back and he's stealing Christmas. That guy now owes me $10. This is based on the $5 line from the beginning trailer. Let's say we give Big Hem 1 loves a cup. Oh look, bingo! Now here's the Cyclopses to the presents. Uh-oh, it seems they're about to be in battle. You see that symbol? That's the awesome face. That's a angry face from Newgrounds. That's the Transformer sound. Kaboom! I forgot to include the bullets, but never mind. There's a wreckage. My baby. Yeah, I was also flip-flopping on the markings on Chaos. Before I knew it was basically just 6 little marking things, I thought it was different patterns, because back then I saw Chaos as a bit of a little son of Quan Chi, mischievous son of Quan Chi in a way. There's the big battle between Wrecking Ball and Gargantua. Keep in mind this was before Trap Team appeared. And then there's the Rotten Robbies. Their only weakness is fire and cannons. I kept that analogy. Now this bit over here, here's a dark secret. I rotoscoped this over the Wind in the Willows chasing scene with the Deed, which itself was reused for the Jungle Book scene where Baloo and Bagheera were trying to keep the monkeys away, trying to keep Mowgli away from the monkeys and King Louie. It was poking fun of the fact that Disney would often like to reuse their animations. Like, in The Phony King of England from Robin Hood, it reuses some of the dances with Maid Marian were rotoscoped from Snow White dancing with Dopey and the dwarfs. Most of the Little John dancing parts were rotoscoped from Baloo dancing. And some of Maid Marian's dancing with Robin Hood were rotoscoped from the Aristocats with Duchess and Thomas O'Malley. Or what the? And then Chaos just escapes. We gotta go after him. No time for that now. It's based on the villain gets away. They're about to go after him, but no time. We have to do something before something bad happens. And I gave Stealth Elf the ability to teleport, which is actually she's meant to be invisible. Oddly enough, she would later gain the teleportation ability in Skylanders Academy. I probably should have addressed this a bit better. I should have added in a little scene when the Mabu just realized that the characters... Oh, finally I introduced the tractor beam. When the Mabu try to find the people, but it's just not there. Actually, they're not there anymore. All the presents have been delivered. Now, I only have one day to do this like entire scene, so I had to reuse some bits. I could only draw some characters with the presents. Okay, guys, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Christmas. And it was one of my favorite ways to end animation. You see all the characters here. Now, some of them are drawn completely from scratch, but others I had to reuse because I was running out of time. You see Zap doing this thing that was rotoscoped from Pinkie Pie. So yeah, that was my Skylanders Christmas video. In case you're wondering, yes, I am still doing the Christmas Redux. The reason why I'm delaying it so much is because I feel like that one needs a lot of care and effort, and it requires some fluid animation. And I want to be as near perfect as possible, because otherwise it's pointless to remake the animation, to once again cut off the corners. It was pointless to remake the animation. I mean, the point of a remake is to try to do something better than the original. Otherwise, it's just it's just gonna be inferior to the original. Like maybe there was something you wanted to include there, but you didn't like it, but you couldn't. But now you have the opportunity to include that scene in. You got your wish. I mean, King Kong 2005 by Peter Jackson. Many of us do like that film, but we can all agree it can be seen as inferior to the original 1993 classic. Now, funny enough, the 1993 classic was supposed to have a scene with the spiders in the cavern and the insects, but the reason why they cut that scene in the original is because it was too scary. Luckily, Peter Jackson decided to bring back that scene for his remake of King Kong. He did say it wasn't to be better than the original. It was meant to be a tribute to the original. And sorry if I was coughing quite a bit. I remember I was suffering a week ago. I was suffering a bit of a bad cough from transitioning from a tropical climate to a very cold temperate climate. And this was what happens when you transition from something cold to something hot quickly. Your body comes in a bit of a shock. So anyway, like I said, this is my commentary on Skylanders Christmas. I have more others in mind, but I only focus on the ones that I'm mostly interested in talking about. I won't do the incomplete ones like Skylanders Academy, like Skylanders University, or the Christmas Redux. Those are not complete. I can't do a commentary on something that's not complete. I am still working on them. I'll get them released as soon as possible. And thank you for joining me on my first of my commentary series. And I'll also be doing a little fun facts shorts to accompany it, and to help fill in my time in May while my computer is being repaired. I hope you've enjoyed this video.